Good afternoon to all my plant lovers out there. It is a very cold day in January. It is January 14th, 2023. Today I'm just out because I'm tired of being in the house. It's cold. I'm not a cold weather person. But I just came out to just kind of look at all my plants to see what I have to do. And as you can see, I had a whole lot. I always have a whole lot because I do most of all of this stuff by myself. I might get a little help here and there from somebody, but the majority of the time it's all me. All this stuff. It's not all that impressive now because it's cold and everything is kind of dormant and looking a little crazy, but came out to see what I need to cut off. I need to cut off my little flower heads off of these. Some of them I can sometimes just break them off, but I need to get some of my pruners to come out here and just at least just cut those old flower heads off. This here ain't doing too bad. Just a little brown from the cold weather, but in the spring it'll get a little greener. I do this one. This arborvitae ain't doing too bad, but I need to do some fertilizing back here. And we haven't had a lot of rain, so some of these things could use some rain, but with no hoses. I'm not a fan of carrying out buckets of water into the cold outside, so I'm hoping that they'll make it because I'm not in the mood for that. So anyway, I still have more soil to put down here. Hopefully I'll have some compost to lay down to help this out. Need to do a little more mulching out here. I'm gonna paint that bench and level it up a little bit. It's leaning, but we just kind of plop things in place once I grab them. That bench there came from a Dairy Queen in my own neighborhood area. Been around for a long time, and a new owner bought new benches, so he gave away free stuff, and I grabbed them. I also got some other little bench table over here near my greenhouse, and my aunt grabbed some, so we had to muster up all of our strength, load them up on our trucks, and get them home. It's just temporary for now until I find other things or get better things, but right now it'll work. You can sit on it. This here is my shade garden. Not so shady right now because it's wintertime and all the leaves are gone, but plan to add a lot of things in here. I need a garden fairy because I need so much help around here. I almost need a genie or somebody to just snap their fingers and get some stuff done, but this is a lot of exercise ahead for me. My compost bin, working on. I just redid it. I'll probably turn it tomorrow. And I've covered it a little bit just to keep the leaves from blowing all over the place. So I'm gonna get out here, pile some more stuff, some more scraps, some more leaves on here, and fill it all the way up to the top as much as I can. Just make sure I flip it to get that oxygen in there. And this stuff I need to break down. These are old mums from the fire, so I need to chop all of those up and break the dirt up, and also create some compost over here as well. Some of the smaller pieces I might mix in here, but as I do it, I turn it and add more stuff. So that is that, and I'm going to rebuild these. I just had some pallets that I grabbed from a friend, and she came out with my husband and helped me kind of put this together, and he couldn't do much, but she helped me get this nailed in. And I need to build something. I need to do it on more level ground because this is kind of leaning, so I'll fix that up in a minute. Even though it's just something to keep the compost in place, so it just won't be all over the place. I'm kind of a OCD person, so I have to kind of have things in a better order. So it's just working for now because it's serving its purpose, but it's gonna have to come down if we're gonna have to redo some things. I'll be doing that. But this is all my junk, all my little extra wire free fencing I got from people. hard to see it blending in with the leaves, but I got a bunch of this wire fencing out here that I can use for different projects around the yard. This was some garden border, but I don't like it. I just use it for in a temporary situation to hold some stuff in place until I actually get some bricks or something out here. I need to put some new boards on this picnic table because these growing mushrooms, all kind of stuff on here. I mean, it's working, but it's time for some new wood. I got this free. The guy who got it years ago, he said he got it free, and I think it's been sitting around like maybe 20 years or something, like 15, 20 years or whatever. So he said he got it free and he passed it on to me for free. So now I just have to get some more boards to attach to it to make it like new and maybe paint everything. I have some bags with some soil in them already, and I covered them so all the nutrients won't get washed out of the bags. So I'll be working with those soon. So I'm not gonna bother those until I'm ready to plant. And it warms up a bit so they won't be frozen. As you can see, it's a small little skating rink right here. I just came out to just look and see what's going on and aggravate myself to see all the work I have to do and figure out some new things. Of course, I'm always gonna add a new twist to everything or move something. Something. It's gonna always be something. Banana trees under that pot there. I didn't do it the way I usually do it, but I'm hoping that it'll make it, since it is a cold hardy banana tree, that the root ball will be okay in the ground so far. I didn't use the same type of mulch that I always use. I usually use the wood, regular wood chips that's colored, and they seem to hold more heat than that cypress blend over there, but we'll see what happens. And if it doesn't survive, I still have 2 banana trees in my garage that I could plant, and I also plan to add another circular garden over there where those green pots are. That's gonna pretty much mirror this, and I'm gonna have bananas on each side. These over here, these are my sedum. I need to cut these down and get them ready for the new stuff that's already coming up, even though it's freezing. I got this other type. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's kind of like a green and yellow version of them. And those are still holding. Sedums are pretty tough plants. So I'm gonna cut these down to the ground basically. But just won't be today. It's a little cold. I just want to come out and do a video to look at how this looks as opposed to how pretty it's gonna be when the weather's nice. Those yarrows, a lot of times they stay green all year long. They don't even turn. And I'm not all that crazy about it, but I just wanted something to plop in here once I had put this together. So I need to cut these. Same thing, more sedum. I need to cut those down. Back here, I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do about some more planting, because I'm almost considering doing some ground planting for some cool weather crops back here. Now this gets some sun, not a lot, but for anything that could take the shade, I'm thinking of making some rows of dirt. Now it's not in stone, I'm considering. So I'm still thinking about it, and I may wind up doing that, planting something back here in the ground, maybe just around the outskirts of this little fenced in area back here. This is mainly just for me keeping my plants that I pot as extra plants on the side. But I gotta do some work back here too to clean these things up. And each day in the warm weather, I usually try to find a way to try to store and organize everything. But of course that takes money a lot of times. Now sometimes I can find some free and cheap things to do, but at some point it's usually some money involved. So I'm trying to avoid involving too much money, because gardening can be expensive, but it's worth it when you can come outside and enjoy your plants and flowers and make the neighborhood look nice when it's in its greatest shape, and come out and pluck some vegetables out that you can eat without having to go to the store. So I got deck organizing and cleaning to do. I gotta organize, clean that. Gotta clean and organize everything out here, but it never ends. I did do some plantings on the 11th. I came out and I planted some potatoes, basically store-bought. Sometimes I'll just take some and set them in a box and just let them sit until they start growing the little buds on them, and then I'll come out, put some dirt together, and I'll put them in here. So I had this dirt, what we'll say soil, marinating for several months so far. So I finally decided to come on out here and get those in since they were ready. So I did about 3 rows, pretty much like here and in here. So both of these have 3 rows of planted potatoes. I think I put about how many did I put? I think 6. I think I put 6 in each one, although they're just potatoes in there. This one is garlic so far, but I'm gonna add more. I've had 4 cloves, so I stuck them in each of these big pots that I have. These had flower arrangements in them for 2022, but this year I decided I want to do a combination of some vegetables and flowers. So I've got garlic in here too. And I only put those things in to mark where I put them so that I know that I have space to put other things in here. And I know what it is, so I won't forget this. Some things I will forget, but I won't forget that it's garlic in here. So I just want to decide what plants or flowers I'm going to put in here with that. And I don't know. In here, I clean it up, I mess it up, I clean it up, and I mess it up. So right now it's just box storage because I try to collect all the cardboard that I can use on the ground, use in the yard, use wherever I need it. This cold snap below 0 really killed my greens. It took at least half of them out. Some of them are still struggling to live, so we'll see what happens. But I do have plenty of seeds for these. These are the Georgia collards. I have plenty of seeds for these. So I'm just going to plant some new stuff in here very soon. But I think I'm gonna do some seed starting in the house first. And since I got all that hay in there, and then maybe, I don't know. Because I wanted to add more dirt to a few of these pots, but I'm not sure just yet. So right now, I'm just gonna water what's still growing, replant the ones that have died off. I'm gonna leave these in here for now. These bigger pots, I'm thinking of adding some more lettuce or cabbages or something, maybe some lettuce. And before I had it loaded with lettuce, and we ate off of that for a while until the cold snap killed all my different lettuces. So I'm gonna fill that last pot up. And I got another one in the back just like this, and I need to take, I think it's an azalea, I need to take it down, put it in the ground. So I'm gonna fill all of these up, and whatever I plant is gonna be all of the same or whatever it is to kind of help me keep track of what I have. So right now this greenhouse is more like storage at this time, and I have to figure out how to heat this thing without it costing too much money, because running a space heater in here is not cost effective at all, and it didn't work anyway. So as you can see, half my greens are gone. I think I had about 19, 20, 21 plants or something in here, but anyway, that's what happens in the wintertime. It happens. That's my little bootleg table I got from Dairy Queen. I'm gonna repaint that, make it look a little nicer around here. Just something to do to kind of temporarily set some things on, and maybe take a break when I'm out here working and doing some things. And you know, in time, once you get to know me, you'll know it's not gonna remain the same. Something's always gonna change. All of my hydrangeas, which are limelights, Bobo, limelight, another Bobo, and another limelight hydrangea. I wanted to add more leaves in here, but it's so windy. This side of my house is like nothing but windstorm all the time. It's always blowing things over, knocking things over. So we had to really brace and make a really strong greenhouse so that wouldn't blow away or fall over. So I mean, we really got it in there good, braced it down. I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna do with this cattle pen on here, because I haven't decided just yet, but I'll figure it out a little bit. I'm gonna take this out and just plant probably some rosemary, thyme, parsley, whatever I can do in these small pots here. Probably along with some flowers or something. Not exactly sure, but in time, I'm gonna have a garden bed wrapped around those pots there to this point here. That's gonna kind of mirror this garden bed over here, so that I can kind of have something neat over here instead of having those cinder blocks and, you know, the pot sitting on top. I'm gonna make it a lot nicer. So in time, I'll be doing that. This right here, I believe we're probably gonna create more of a patio situation here and sidewalk or something. I don't know. I don't really wanna, right now I don't really want to plant anything right there, but we got to work on this walkway. And sorry, my wind is blowing my scarf all over the place. I need to come pop these heads off of this hydrangea here. This is the limelight. I need to cut all of those off, finish edging this up, making this a little neater. I'm gonna straighten that up right there and just make it straight, round it off, and then just come straight on down. I wanted it curved before, but it didn't work out for me at the time, so I'm gonna fix this. Just keep mulching it, keeping it looking nice. These little junipers doing pretty good. They've been moved a few times and they still holding on. Some tough little bushes there. I need to cut these grasses. This is the Pete Hamlin dwarf grass. I really like this. I need more of these in my yard. I like this. I like how it stays a decent size. These are false indigo. I need to cut them down to the ground. I want to move one of them because once this gets bigger, it's going to really, really crowd this out. So I think very soon I'm going to go ahead and dig one of those out and reposition it to the center instead of having two side by side, because it's way too much. This over here is a lot of bulb plantings over here. Besides this millennium and serendipity, what you call this? Whatever it is, I can't think. Anyway, I need to come out here and tidy all of this stuff up and get the weeds out. But today is not a work day for me. Today is just a day to look at what I have going on so I can come up with a plan on how I'm gonna tackle it all and get it done in time. I feel like I probably need to put a raised bed in here because the weeds grow real bad right there. So I think I'm gonna put some cardboard down and create some type of raised garden bed or something over here. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm just making this video so that I can keep up with what's going on. So nothing planned, nothing formal. Just trying to keep some things around here to keep it interesting. I do need to cut this hibiscus down. I need to cut all that out real soon. It gets kind of tiring when you have to do everything yourself and you don't have much help. But it's what I love, and no matter what, I'm going to keep planting. Hopefully I can continue to have good health and have all my limbs and my brain working like it's supposed to. But I'm always motivated to come out to my yard. And sometimes I have to get out the house because I'm not a cold weather person. I would say it a million times. I do not like cold weather. And I needed to get out the house because I go kind of stir crazy being stuck in the house all the time. So anyway, just looking at what I gotta do. I think some future videos will be a little more detailed where I actually talk about things that I mix in with all of my soil and show how I do it. But right now, it's not the day. But this is my yard in the cold winter. Got to get some improvement. I need to figure out what to stick here. because this looked like a graveyard when I cleaned this up, because the animals kept tearing it up and the grass was always bald headed right here. So I think I'm gonna probably pile some type of rocks or something here, and it's not gonna be all that formal. I'm gonna do something here just to fix this area. I don't know exactly what the problem is, but I'm gonna just do something so that I can keep it looking decent half the time. I'll come up with a good plan in time. That bed, the rocks where the blocks are on there like this because everything kept blowing out that side where I added the second layer. So I decided to just put that there to keep all my mulch and stuff from blowing out. And when the grass got cut or it was edged, that it didn't blow so much grass up into that area there. So that's why it's facing this way rather than me keeping it open to face the street. I did this so that my view is from my driveway for myself. I'm not really concerned about making it a view for everybody else. It's for me. So I'm out of breath because it's cold. And that's about it, y'all. So if you like me and you love plants, you'll find some reason to get outside and check your yard to see what's going on. It's always good to know what's happening in your yard and what things you might have to tackle. So right now, we just passed some junk. That's some old hay we used from a file setup. I'm gonna just break that apart and use that in compost. And those sweet potatoes have gone bad. When I got those, they were in the case and they were all bad. So I just left them outside until I can get them chopped up and put in some compost and mix it in with all this different materials I have in the yard, because I try to hang on to everything that's going to be useful, anything that can help cut my costs down on fertilizers and soil, things like that. So I'm trying to help create my own, and it helps a lot. So in the summertime, this is going to be beautiful. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to add more things in here, and I can't wait to start working on this. More than likely, I'm going to cardboard this down and mound it up and put my blocks around it to create a garden bed right in here. I'm going to create a garden bed in this little square here. This little area from the edge of that block right in here. Not sure what it's going to be just yet, but I'll figure it out in time. And right now, that's about it. So I'm just gonna say goodbye to you all. I hope that you all are working on your plan. I hope that you are collecting your supplies, even if you just piling it up in your garage or putting it in your shed. Go ahead and start collecting some of your soil or any of the things you use to mix your soil. Start collecting any of your fertilizers you're gonna need. Start collecting any of your braces and cages for your tomatoes and your green peppers and things like that. Collect seeds. Go ahead and start ordering up seeds. We really should have did it the end of the summer, started ordering for this spring, but you'll probably get lucky. Somebody will get lucky and get exactly what they're looking for. So you can start some of your things inside. Some of your perennials, you can actually start, just put them in some dirt, put them outside, and in the spring, they'll start coming up. So, in the fall, make sure you collect as many leaves as you can and keep some place to store them and start making a compost bin, because they make great soil. So, I collect everything. I'm trying to keep wood, logs, and twigs and things like that, and I'm going to create areas where I can keep a pile for all of that. So everybody get busy and get ready. See you later. Bye-bye.